conversation can serve no purpose anymore.
Well, hello, my fellow car modelers. How are you doing today? You can see I've got the Salvinos JR Models pigmented petty blue body. This is not painted. We have the wraps on here. If you haven't seen that video, check it out. We are going to do some myth busting today. There's a little bit of concern about colored plastic, and well, we're going to do some experiments today. Let's check out what we got going. So for today's experiment, I'm just going to do the hood here. There is a huge concern about Salvinos coming out, especially with their new kits of the modern, what we're going to be seeing this year at Daytona 2022, the model kits they're coming out with. And let me just take some of this off here. And they're talking about having the bodies molded in color, and then you can just put the rest of the livery, the main color, and then the rest of the livery is either going to be these vinyl wraps, or it's going to be decals that can go directly onto the body, and boom, Bob's your uncle. You've got yourself a done model. Well, at least the body, because they're trying to capture the market of newer builders or people coming back into the hobby that through NASCAR, you know, they get excited about NASCAR and, ooh, we can build models now, and that is a good thing. That's definitely a good thing for our hobby. Brings more people in. But some of us old veterans, and I am sort of like that too, I am a hater of colored plastic. But lo and behold, you know, we all say we want a white body, but quite honestly, those white bodies are pigmented, because plastic doesn't just come out pure white. So those are even dyed or pigmented. Well, and of course white isn't so evasive, but we're worried about bleeding through. A lot of people don't realize is old technology in the olden days, when you got an old monogram red body like this, you paint this, that red's going to come through because it's a dye. This stuff here is not a dye, it's a pigment. And you should be able to paint right over this, no issues whatsoever, no prepping, no putting either flat black or silver. A lot of people use these things to be inhibitors for the dye to come through, and lots of times that doesn't even help. It's usually a crapshoot. And so I'm going to go ahead, I'm going to tape this off in half, I'm going to primer one side, and I'm just going to shoot white across it. I'm going to use Tamiya rattle can white. And we're going to see if it bleeds through or not, either through the primer or even just bare plastic. So let's get this taped up and shot, and we'll take a look at it. You're watching the Luka Cee channel on YouTube. All right, So, there we go. We got half primer, half not. And so far, I don't know how you can tell, I'm looking at it very close, and I am not seeing blue coming through the primer, but that's also kind of hard to tell at this point. It's still a little wet. I'm letting it set. I'm gonna let this set for a little while, and then we're gonna shoot Tamiya white over it. We're gonna look for the blue bleed through on these solid areas here, but I want this to cure good before I shoot the whole thing. And then and by the way, just so you know, how I did this, I take my paint stick, I put a piece of tape on there, and I put tape right on on that wrap, and held that thing on, and it didn't even pull that wrap up. That wrap is very solid on there. It's been a couple weeks now since I've had this wrap on the body. I see no signs of peeling up or anything. And I'm still very stoked about that, very plus. Which we're going to do a video that I am going to test different clears on the body and on this, and I'm probably going to shoot some Tamiya clear on this to see how we can really make this hood pop. So let's move on with this. We're going to let this set up, and we will shoot that white on there and see what happens. I mean, you know, what the heck, right? All right, ready? Here we go. Ta-da! Myth busted. I'll let you look. You can see the line kind of sort of from the gray that I put on there. This side right here is primered. This side is the white went directly onto the blue, and you can see, check it out, I got this taped. Look at that, those things are on there. Yeah, so there you go. Everything that you guys have wondered about, there you go. That is white as white as white. There is no, and I only have like a mist coat, my first coat, or tech coat, however you want to call it, and then I put a kind of a heavy coat of the white. I did not have Tamiya white. I actually used some, which is a lacquer. This is a lacquer I put on here, but I actually used Duplicolor. The primer's Duplicolor, and I put Duplicolor down, and that Duplicolor white went directly onto the bare plastic on this side. Actually, which side? I think what you saw it. One side. This is the primered side. This is the unprimered side. So there you go. Next thing I'm going to do, I'm not going to do it in this video, I'm going to clear this hood with Tamiya cloth. So there you go. That's how it is. We don't have any bleed through. Let's not worry about it. Rick told everybody that his mold injection plastic guy said, don't worry about it. We use pigments, not dyes. The pigments will not come through. And there's the proof, all right? So let's not worry about colored plastic anymore. If you prime them, and it doesn't even matter. I didn't even prime this side. Okay? So there you go. Look at that. And it's, that's it. Let's end the discussion. We don't even need to talk about it anymore. Thank you guys for watching. I hope this helped you out. I hope this eased your guys' minds about the colored plastic coming from Salvinos JR. I cannot say anything for any other model company. This is the discussion about Salvinos JR models, and I'm still loving that. I'm still loving that petty blue. This thing has been sitting across my room. I'm just gonna say it. Been sitting across my room for a couple of weeks, and it keeps catching my eye. I'm just looking at it going, I'm gonna throw clear on it. And that'll even probably make it pop. But this blue is so sweet, and it so looks like a petty car sitting across my room. I'm getting another one of these kits and building it. So there we go. There it is. Myth busted. We're done. I will talk to you guys later. Go build model cars. Why? Because they're fun. They're fun. And here's the producers.